suppose this is a reasonably interesting start to a video, which is not likely to be particularly interesting in itself. But anyway, this is an update. The last time I made a video was October 2022, and I'd just moved up to here in Scotland. My wife and I had downsized, and we were about to start some work on the house, which is now, I'm pleased to say, virtually complete. So where we are now is the garage conversion. It's all a matter of priorities. This is the thing you're interested in most. Never mind the rest of the house and the kitchen. Anyway, this is the garage conversion, which has been converted into a wargames room for me, and which is now completed. So I'd like to take the opportunity as this first update to let you have a look at it. I'd also like to start off by wishing all of my fellow gamers a very happy 2024, and I wish you all the best for the forthcoming year. So what we've got here is the wargames table, which I've managed to set up, measuring 7 by 5, and that's adequate for my purposes, really. I think we'd always like more, but that'll do for the time being, let's say. The garage was converted by a local builder, along with a lot of other work which he'd done in the house, and he's done an excellent job. So I've got my board set up there, computer desk alongside, because you can never have enough space, I always find, when you want to put extra troops, as and when you need them. So that's it. Musket was a birthday present when I was 65, and have a pan round towards the other end of the room. Still some junk accumulated there, some boxes and other bits and bobs. The cabinet there contains most of my soldiers. The concession to domestic bliss was the extra freezer stuck in the corner there, because you can never have enough freezer space, it seems. But anyway, that's the room as it now stands. Having moved up here in July of 22, I basically came to the conclusion that it wouldn't be possible for me to carry on wargaming in 28mm, certainly in Napoleonics, given the size of the armies which I'd got and the size of the playing space that was available. So I took the drastic step of disposing of all my 28mm Napoleonics and decided to move into other projects, primarily small-scale projects. I've decided to go into 10mm Napoleonics, and I'm doing Austrian and French for the 1809 campaign. I've also decided to do the well, a bit of a desert campaign, if you like. Desert warfare, anyway. Flames of war, but not Flames of War. I'll probably use different rules. If you'll bear with me, I'll get some of the figures out, because you don't want to be sat staring at this this blank table for longer than is necessary. So just bear with me. Okay, back with you again. On the 10mm subject, these are the 10mm Napoleonics that I've so far managed to collect from Pendraken. Sorry about that, I'm floating all over everywhere. Just a few battalions to start with for the French, because I'm a slow painter. I also tend to move around onto different subjects. Whoops, sorry about that. I've not used this camera for about, well, a long time. So those are the that's the start of the French. Panning over here to the right is the Austrian contingent. Again, Pendraken figures, and I've developed a new painting technique for these chaps, because the technique I used for 28mm was simply not appropriate. It would have taken me an eternity. But anyway, those are the start, or that's the start of the Napoleonic contingent. I've got some more unpainted, which I'll add in due course, but I've taken a bit of a break, having gone on and done those. I've now moved over to something else, which I'll show you next. For my next trick, as they say, these are epic English Civil War, and I'm doing both armies. We're looking here at two Royalist regiments, and if I move the box round, you can see I've got two parliamentarian regiments as well. A collection of officers. These I think are either Steel Fist or Peter Pig. They're not from the epic range, but they're a reasonably good match. I've got a complete starter army of these, still waiting to be finished. But again, it's a project that I've launched into, and I'll dabble with it and then go and do something else and then come back to it. So those are, and back, the English Civil War. As a matter of interest, if you're wondering why I've got a yellow table, it's because I'm going to do some desert warfare, which I'll show you in a moment. Okay, next up is the desert warfare project, which is again at a fairly early stage. What we've got here are, we've got a unit of British Crusaders, which are from a war, from a Flames of War starter box. I think it's the Armoured Fist starter box. Over here we've got some 105mm howitzers for the Germans from the Africa Corps box. Two more of the same, because you get 4 in the set. And then moving back over to this side, we've got some 50 pack 38 50mm anti-tank guns for the Germans, again from the same starter set. And then finally the deadly 88mm guns of the Africa Corps, again all from the same starter set. This is pretty much going to be a tank-on-tank type campaign, I think. Infantry not playing very much of a part in it, but that's something else that I managed to achieve in the last few months. We're now back in the painting room. I should say there's no particular methodology to these projects. I've decided that I just want to flit around from project to project rather than commit myself, as I have done in the past, to painting until I'm burned out. I'm just painting what I fancy painting and then swapping over to something else. These are some Flames of War miniatures, again from the Africa Corps and Armoured Fist starter set. We've got some Grants for the Allies and some Panzer IIIs for the Germans, which I've just primed to start with. That's something else I've been doing. I bought myself a new airbrush, and I'm getting myself familiarised with that. So they are due now to receive their next coat. I got 2 more little vehicles from the British set, which I think are absolutely great. There's the armoured car and the dingo. What I'm proposing to do is I'm proposing to keep the Western Desert Forces primarily vehicles with just a very few infantry, to use the yellow mats that you've seen in the War Games room. I've also bought a starter set for Flames of War for the Americans and the Germans post D-Day. I think it's Hit the Beach it's called, but I'm going to use those for Western Europe basically. So these, I think, would do great. They do great service as a British contingent. I just like the vehicle, so rather than use them in the desert, I'm going to use these for the Western Front campaign when I finally get round to it. I've also bought some starter armies from Bolt Action. So far, I've got the Italians and black shirts, which these are all waiting to be painted, by the way. and I've got the US starter army. I intend to use both of those for the Italian campaign. And with that in mind, I've been digging out through my bits box, and I found some stuff that I forgot I'd gotten. We've got here this somewhere from Bolt Action. This is a resin model, a Warlord Games resin model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this up as an Italian tank, and basically use it as a captured French, sorry, for the Italian defence of Sicily. I've got some Bolt Action figures here from the Blitzkrieg starter set that I sold on ages ago, which I've kept bits from, so I'm practicing painting on these. And there's another one over here as well, a machine gun, on which again I'm going to be practicing. So the philosophy for this year, I'm not writing resolutions down, because if I write them down I ignore them anyway. It's a matter of applying them rather than writing them down. So anyway, what I'm going to do in 2024 is I'm going to keep these projects going. I'm going to skip from one to the other to suit myself, and I'm trying to get enough built and painted so that at least I can get a couple of games in, because I'm gaming solo now. As far as I understand it, there is no immediate also, there is no War Games club in the immediate vicinity of where I live. There are some nearby, i.e. sort of 20 miles or so, but we don't have motorways up where I am, and it's a bit of a drive, and to be honest, I'm quite happy to just plough my own furrow for the time being till I get myself sorted out. So that's really it. I don't think there's very much more I can bore you with. On the Bolt Action front, what I've done is I bought the Italians, as I said. I bought the American starter army, and I've also, as a reserve, I bought the Russian, the Soviet starter army, because I fancy doing some Soviets. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to work out Bolt Action being for sort of skirmish games, but the larger games being with 15mm and 10mm. 15mm for the desert, probably 15mm for Western Europe. I'm not sure which yet. It's still sort of floating around my head, but I've got some ideas sketched out, if you like. Anyway, I think I'm wandering off a bit now. So anyway, I hope that all your projects are going well. I also hope to be able to get back to you with another progress report of some interest in the not too distant future. Certainly not in something like 16 months' time anyway. And thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers for now.